Hello, Robotics Notes fans. Welcome to another episode of Robotics Notes League Animal Crossing. It is December 13th, 12:41 a.m. Thermosphere Doobie Sensen. Is this Phase 9? Oh, no, that is the last day of Phase 8. Interesting. It is December 13th. We got another one tomorrow, and then a day off. How sad. What a shame. I said what I usually say out of order. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I usually start by saying the date, and then I say welcome to another episode of Robotics Notes League Animal Crossing. It's really throwing me off. Let's load the data. It's the 13th, right? I just said the date, but then I was like, is it? It is. Akio Sonomiya POV. It's 501 Pum. Alright, watch carefully. Don't take your eyes off it. Okay, I get it. Hurry up. Prez, why are you whispering? Oh, well, shit. Okay, I get it. Hurry up. Prez, why are you whispering? You got me doing it. Fuck. Prez, why are you whispering? You got me doing it now, too. Because it makes this feel more like a secret experiment. Who cares about that? Just shut up and watch. Shit! God damn it. You're whispering too, Doc. Shh. Doc, let's get started. Shit, press the wrong button. I suppress my nervousness and signal to Doc. He nods, a stern expression on his face. He then flips on test power switch connected to the motor. The motor, affixed to the stand, starts moving. On occasion, it surges with a faint light blue beam of light. This is a brand new motor, a Doc designed built for gun build 2. It's the first servo motor in human history to use a magnet made out of a monopole. But I know it uses monopoles and all, but it kinda lacks impact. Prez, you're starting to sound like the president of Space Candy. How is this any different from a regular motor? I thought it was gonna be this super powerful type that goes whoosh, kaboom, gurgur, skur, swoosh, you know? Now you just sound like an idiot. Yup, it's about time to ignore Subaru. Meanwhile, he's sighing out of disappointment, I guess. A high-powered motor like that would only wreck the gears. You have to think more practically. He scolded me. I tuned it to a level that wouldn't cause problems for Model 2 if it was installed right now. I say tuned, but I've only really done the basics so far. Can you give us a rundown of its capabilities? Sure, the definitive difference between the old motor and this one is its output. Compared to the servo motors in Model 1, I can output 10 times more power with the same amount of energy. 10 times? And even that ain't its full potential. This is playing on the conservative side of things. The monopole is something else. With this motor, Model 2 will be able to move more than Model 1 using less power, says Doc as he shuts it off. Truth be told, this motor is an outrageous beast, both in capability and price. I couldn't even begin to tell you how much this thing's gonna end up being worth. But it's something that doesn't exist on Earth. I figure a few 100,000 yen ain't gonna cut it. Can you give us a ballpark estimate? I wouldn't be surprised if it went over 100 million. Say what? I can't even wrap my head around a number that big. So how many skulls can I buy with that kind of money? More than 600,000 bottles. Okay. still can't quite fathom that large a sum of money. This one motor uses around 100 monopoles. Doc ground them down and compressed them. He apparently utilized the same process he used to make permanent magnets. He showed me its insides. The magnet made out of monopoles flickered red like it was alive. Even now, monopoles continue to fall onto Uchikawoka Park. It's recently become my job to pick them up. I swing by in the mornings and in the afternoons on the way to and from school. This used to be Kai's job. And so picking up the monopoles every day led me to discover something. After last month's solar disturbance, the frequency with which monopoles fell had increased dramatically. Now we get around 10 to 20 a day. There's no way this is anything but abnormal. The all the monopoles are sitting around on the grass resemble mouse poop. It's kinda gross, to be honest. The neighbors have finally started to take notice of them, but they seem unfazed. People here are pretty chill. Fortunately, nobody from JAXA has heard anything yet. I've also been doing my best to avoid having Dad figure things out. We're planning on using a total of 24 servo motors for Model 2. So we still need 4 more? We should be able to wrap up this month. Fortunately for us, we have a huge stock of monopoles. It takes a little bit of time and money to turn them into magnets, but things are going as planned mostly. To be honest, I'm actually a little worried about whether these motors will really be enough to move Model 2. I find myself wondering if we should maybe raise the number of monopoles we use per motor. I have no clue if using more monopoles would result in more magnetism, so maybe I'm just crazy. Both Subaru and Doc are against the idea. If you want to finish building Model 2 by the end of the year, we should avoid increasing the number. But the expo's in February, right? We still have a little bit of leeway. If possible, I'd like to dedicate the entire next month to setting up the drive system. Ah, okay. Got it. Alright, Doc, go ahead and mass produce this thing. Mass produce my ass. You're a goddamn slave driver, I swear. Do you really think I can make over 20 of these damn things by myself in half a month? What? Then what are we gonna do? We gotta take the human wave approach to this. I'll get the island's mechanics to cooperate. You mean like Old Man Kamada and Old Man Minato? Yup. I think we should try to keep the existence of the monopole on the down low if possible. There's no way I can accept your order to make over 24 servo motors by February. Your call, Prez. Alright. I'll go to each workshop on the island and personally ask them to agree to a non-disclosure agreement. What if they don't accept it? Then I'll keep at it until they do. If I talk to them about this dream of ours, I'm sure they'll cooperate. Don't tell me that Doc was the only one willing to help with the construction of Gun Build 1. Or didn't you tell me, sorry. Well, yeah. And even then, no matter how much I bowed my head to him, he only reluctantly agreed to help. Doc uncharacteristically breaks into a massive smile. You're goddamn right I did. Sorry, I put the god in there myself. Merry Christmas. I'm probably the only geezer willing to play along with a Brad's project that won't yield me a single damn yen. People have got lives, and this economy's in the dumps, and the job market's shrinking along with the population. Hell, in the last 5 months, this island's lost half of its workshops. Those old bastards ain't got no time to help you kids out. Not unless you've got leverage. Leverage? Why don't we try using the monopoles as our carrot on a stick? We're going to go public with them eventually anyways. We could give monopole usage rights to all the workshops on the island. We know for a fact that they're going to be a hot commodity in the future. That could be a good way to help stimulate the island's economic growth too. This is starting to sound like we're trying to bribe them. Call it an investment. Or are you suggesting all the island's workshops would be willing to help our club with nothing to gain from it? That's bold. Bold, but nonsense. I hope you realize that way of thinking is what got you in trouble with the VP to begin with. You're starting to remind me of her, Subaru. From the get-go, I've tried to tell you that your way of thinking is naive, Prez. Actually, he's right. Every time we bumped into each other, he'd say the same thing. He may be helping as a member of the Robot Club, but just a few months ago, he was our sworn enemy. But I mean, come on. Couldn't he agree with me at least once in a while? I'm a little irritated. You big jerk. I try to ruffle up Subaru's hair, but he swiftly dodges my lunge. Hey, that's not fair. Please keep your ruffling to Yachio-senpai. I'm not fond of being a replacement. Ugh, that calmness of his totally gets under my skin. Oh, you put a sock in it. I don't care how you do it, just go convince the other workshops to help out. Otherwise, I ain't building no Model 2 by the end of the year. That's all there is to it. Okay. It's time for me to step up to the plate. Meet your fate, walking straight on into the lion's den. Just you wait and see, Subaru. Yeah! Surrounded by 4 RGB cameras, Jinna continues to timidly perform a kata. The one she's currently doing is called Gekisai Daiichi, a pretty basic kata. Her moves are dynamic and interesting to watch. Plus, one set is about 30 seconds long, making for a brisk pace. Frau and I are squatting, watching from a little ways away. Frau bites into her Pocky, and I take a sip of my fruit sour melon. The winds are gentle today, so even though the sun is about to set, it's not that cold outside. Why don't we just recreate that kata with Model 2 as is? I randomly toss out a proposal. Frau starts to grin while looking at her phone droid connected to the RGB cameras. Are you crazy? Gunvero performing a kata? Dude, Terra Cray. Then do you have any better ideas? But I refuse. We're still recording Jinna's kata. Oops, wrong button. As for why, it's because we still haven't figured out what Model 2's doing at the expo. Call it brainstorming. Akio wants to put some iconic poses from the anime and have it do those, but that'd be way too short. The performance should be at least 30 seconds long, preferably 1 whole minute. Which is why I personally thought a kata would be a good fit. Kata are fairly complex. With only 24 servo motors, there aren't enough joints for that. Legit. Oh, huh. Hey! Hiya! Jinna stands up straight and bows. Looks like she's done. Next up, I'll be performing Gekisai Daini. Please enjoy. She bows again and begins the next kata. She's still clearly embarrassed. Her movement is rigid and tense. Kind of a bummer considering how beautiful her kata are when nobody is watching. What a waste of talent. Anyway, hear me out. Number 1. Number 1? Is that me? Please listen, Yachio-senpai. What's up? I respond to her as I mindlessly watch Jinna perform. Frau scoots extra close to me, touching her shoulder to mine. It's about the Committee of 300 and the Tavistock Institute. Frau started coming to school as of late. She's even become interested in the committee in the institute. She's been aggressively scouring the internet for information on both groups. And? Did you make any progress on your end? I haven't activated the last trigger for Kamijo report number 6, so I haven't found it yet. Way to go, Surfer Boy. Aughts. Isn't it taking you a little too long? Look, activating the triggers is hard work, okay? I only just started surfing 4 days ago. Before that, I was picking up golf balls at the golf course. I feel like such an idiot for doing all these things. Huh, I get it now. Your young body is being rattled and jostled by the fierce waves. I get it. Good gulp. That's totes lewd. I could put together an entire thin book about you and the waves getting intimate. What in the world is she going on about? With 3 question marks. She's breathing heavily through her nose and everything. Probably shouldn't pry. While we were talking, Jenna had long since finished her kata. She's just standing there, looking lost. Perform Super Rinpei next. Jenna looks flustered at my sudden request, but soon composes herself and bows. Super Rinpei! She shouts as she begins her kata. What about you, Kona-chan? When I shoot the question back at Frau, she scoots even closer to me as if she was waiting for me to ask. Do you know who Miguel is? Nope. Wake up, sheeple. He's the CEO of Philip Electronics SMH. Still not ringing any bells. I've seriously never heard of him. Heck, I don't even know if that's a Japanese company or a foreign company. A major player in financial circles, and the former CEO of QS Generic Motors and France's Bruno Company. He's like a strong-armed CEO, a professional rebuilder. So what's his deal? He's a special advisor to the Tavistock Institute. And this old dude has illegitimate kids all around the world. What a badass, Gramps! Don't yell. Look, you're scaring Jun-chan. My bad. What if I told you that one of his illegitimate kids was at Exki? His name is Sawara Kyun. Kyun. And who exactly is that? Exki's CEO or something? Without saying a word, Frau pulls a video up on her phone droid. Wait, that's... It's a video of the press conference from the other day. Frau apparently reserved a time-shifted version of it ahead of time. Toshiyuki Sawada, head of Exoskeleton Company's Hug Testing Department. The Hug Testing Department. That's where Misane works. Are you saying this guy might be part of Tavistock Institute? I didn't say that. I'm just pointing out the fact that this guy is the secret love child of the Institute's special advisor. There's no direct evidence linking him to them. But there is at least a connection. It would be crazy to think that Sawara-kyun is getting intel about the Institute's plans through Miguel. Not that the head of the Hug Testing Department would have the authority to do much, but... So I might be overthinking it. But the Kamijima reports mentioned Exki too. Is that weird to think that they might be connected? I personally predict that this guy's a bona fide tsundere. Putting aside Frau's pointless prediction, if Frau's info is true, it'd be nuts. I sure as hell couldn't tell Akiho about it. Feeling extremely uneasy, I just want to scream into the air. So where'd you get that crazy info anyways? Are you impressed? Let me lick your fingers. Your collar phone. What's your collar phone? Yep, hang on, let me just, oh, I'm getting a call on my collar phone. Let me just rip this out of my, oh dear god! Your collar phone would suffice too, okay? Love doing physical visual comedy in my audio only Robotics Notes series. Stick to licking Pocky. Her. Clearly salty. Frown munches on her Pocky as instructed. Kona-chan, you absolutely can't tell anyone else about this. Senpai, how can you say so calm? Especially after seeing that the Kimijima reports have all been on the mark. Those reports are legit. Shouldn't we be informing the Popo or the mass media? She's right. I'm convinced that most of the contents of the Kimijima reports are true. If I ignore their warnings... Oh yeah. Lots of yawns this episode. If I ignore their warnings, I get the feeling that 5 billion people are going to get massacred. I get goosebumps on my back. I instinctively look around. I have a wonderful view of the old airport just before sunset. There's no one here besides the three of us. I'm just being self-conscious, I guess. Can't make any careless moves. You know this as well as I do, Kona-chan. If we say anything, our lives could be in danger. Personally, I want to get my hands on all of the Kimijima reports. Once we get them all, it should be clear to us what we need to do. What about Airi-tan? We should interrogate her. She's collecting intel on the Committee of 300 after all. Let's start with her 3 sizes. You sound like a perverted old man. Are you sure you're younger than me? I'm forever 17. Got a problem? Ask Airi, huh? I'd love to, but Airi's a little unstable right now. By the way, the one collecting info on the committee is Gejine, not Airi-chan. I asked Gejine about this a few times before, but she couldn't give me any info because she hadn't analyzed it yet. I tried booting up Ito, and there she is. Airi is standing behind Juna as she performs her kata, but she's not watching her. Airi-chan. She doesn't respond. I guess I have no choice but to get up and walk over to her. Don't mind me, Jun-chan. Keep going. Okay. Hori, yeah. Juna instantly stiffens up just because I got closer. Can't say it's a surprise to me. Airi-chan. When I call to her, Airi looks around aimlessly, even though I'm right in front of her. What is she looking for? Whatever. It's not Airi that I want to talk to, but Gejine. I'll just force her out here. I press Airi's forehead for a few seconds. Usually this pulls up an icon on her forehead, and she turns into Gejine immediately. But this time... that tickles! Airi squirms and giggles. She's trying to get away from my finger. Hey, stop avoiding me. I have to talk to Gejine. Why isn't she changing over? Does Juna like Gejine more than me? Huh? For some reason, Airi asks her a question to Juna and not me. This conversation is a mess. As expected, Airi is still unstable. Airi-chan, I need to talk to Gejine. What the hell was that? Weird. So, Mitsuhiko likes Gejine too. Mitsuhiko? Mitsuhiko Nagafukara. Michi? Is she mistaking me for him? Jeez, that stings. And then just like that... she suddenly responds. Yes. What? Usually she does the whole switching over to Gejine thing. Since we're indoors, I am currently unable to see you, Yashio-san. Whoa. Hey now, we're extremely outdoors right now. I'm collecting info, but the number of online users in Kanto has rapidly declined. Info volume has dropped to 20%. What are you talking about? Is this from the blackouts? Collected information is currently under analysis. so I'm unable to answer your request at the present. Please excuse me. She's frozen. This is bad. Ghost-chan sounded a little weird just now. Juna calls Irie Ghost-chan. As our resident urban legend otaku, she probably likes the name. But none of that matters right now. Do you think maybe Irie's been affected by the solar disturbance? This is clearly a bug no matter how you slice it, thank you very much. Bug. At the end of the day, Irie is basically an app inside of Iruo. There have been a bunch of reports of Iruo malfunctioning, so it would be weird if Irie was affected. That actually explained a lot about her recent unstable behavior. So, let's just say that Irie's bugged. Will she be able to observe me clearing the last trigger for the report number 6? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another episode of Robotics Sounds Like Animal Crossing. I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of Robotics Sounds Like Animal Crossing. But, until then, no Geo!